Alright, morning folks. So, I'm about to throw in the towel with this whole WAZA thing. Let me explain. So, on the channel we've been doing 3 or 4 days of research into controlling, switching the WAZA presets. And through an MC6, totally doable. And totally worth the effort. And I've uploaded this morning my presets for the MC6. And that can be controlled from a helix. So what happens is the helix sends Midi control CC messages to the MC6 to switch the switches on it. The MC6 holds the sys6 messages, which goes over a WIDI master into the iPad. The iPad sends the signal here wirelessly and changes. Is it worth doing this? Yes, it is. But I've tried. This way it works. It works great. And you have all the tools there. I've uploaded the WAZA preset. I'll upload my helix preset. Can be done. Here's where I think it's time to have a proper moan at boss. Take these things off. As brilliant as these things are, this is sort of like my safety valve when the total mess of messing with MIDI is too much. I put those things on, go off somewhere, think about other stuff. And my conclusion after 2 or 3 days of faffing around with this thing is it's time to smash the ball back into boss's court. Yoshi, love you man, but seriously. After a year, I think you guys are bosses shooting themselves in the foot by not updating and fully implementing their software. It's just so difficult to move around. Doing this has helped me a lot. I've dove deep into the WAZAs. I've looked at other Boss Katana gear. I've noted that you can switch presets without losing audio at all, which is incredible for anyone coming from the helix world, where you switch a preset, you're going to lose audio like every other DSP. These no. And that's huge. To be able to control this from the floor and see what you're doing, huge. It's another dimension. It's so well worth doing. But trying to get this to work through an iPad Direct, trying to get it through OnSong, it's just been one hassle after the other. I really think at that point, there's no way anyone would go through this normally. You know, I have the patience of a friggin' saint, and this thing has blown my patience. No end. So for Matt, for Yoshi, for all those at Boss who are pumping this thing out, you know, kudos. Nobody in any group has ever said, I don't like the sound. And that's the most important thing. The sound is great. But seeing as how this is capable of producing a wall of sound that is uninterrupted, which doesn't exist in anything else, that's a huge selling point. Make it work, you know? Update the app and put in MIDI hooks, a minimal, so that you can turn on and off effects remotely. And then when you're practicing, practice isn't just playing the guitar, it's also the timing for changing presets, it's the mobility and all that. And this thing is 9 out of 10. The solution for any guitarist who's sitting there at home, who doesn't want to disturb the rest of the world, but wants to get in some serious practice. This thing needs foot control. It really does. I don't think that's a niche thing. I think using this would seriously bump the switching capabilities of the Boss stuff to work with other gear. Why not do it? You know, why not do it? I'll flip this thing around and show you this on the floor, and the difference between manually switching blindly between 6 presets and knowing what's in front of you, because it's huge. If we take what's in front of you here, this is the Diverse FX preset, which is on the WAZA store. It's an orchestral thing. Yeah. If you go and check this out, you'll see it. But using this with snapshots to control it, which is sending out the Midi, you've got your thing highlighted. You know exactly what's going on. You can flick between that and another one. You've got all of the switching capabilities of the Helix. So you can, if you want to use an octave wah for a second, hold that in, and it's doing that. Hit it back, and you go back to slow trim or your rhythm or whatever. And all that works. That's an incredible bonus. It really is. Ball in your court, boss. You need to seriously update this app and make this a whole thing so much more easy. And that would, for anyone who's using something like the MC6 or the Pirate, I'm waiting on the Pirate now to do that, to come in and try this experiment with something else. But this is really the idea. If you can have a little foot controller, or boss, make a little foot controller for this thing. That and that together. Fits in your backpack, goes anywhere, guitar over your shoulder, and you've got the full experience of practicing, of changing presets in time, of turning stuff on and off. It's just got to be done. End of story.